All right, everyone, welcome all to episode 30 of the Casey and Tyler Show. We finally made it to episode 30. Got a Tuesday show for you guys today. Just going to recap some stuff that happened over the weekend. Obviously, the PNC Championship with Tiger and Charlie stealing the show again this year. World Cup finished up this weekend. We'll get into the finale. Phenomenal game. Obviously, we got some bowl games to cover this week. And then we'll get into the NFL Week 15 recap. Weird week in the NFL. Weird week in the NFL.
A lot of good games.
Yeah, just some bizarre endings, and I'm sure we'll get to that. Happy holidays, everyone. Merry Christmas. We are a pro-Christmas podcast. I know in 2022 you're not supposed to say Merry Christmas apparently, but Merry Christmas, everyone. Happy Hanukkah, whatever you celebrate this time of year.
Happy holidays.
Hope you get to enjoy.
Cover all bases.
Hope you get to enjoy some time with friends and family. Without further ado, Casey, anything you want to say before we get into it?
Nope. Let's just get into
I have one thing to say. Chaim Bloom sucks. Chaim Bloom sucks. Sorry. Let's go.
Fuck the Red Sox.
Casey, real quick, I don't know if you saw this. I didn't want to add to the show sheet because it was
that the Red Sox fucking suck and they're going to lose every goddamn player that comes up through their organization?
It's a great Frank the Tank impression.
What? I mean, am I wrong? Every great young player that has came up through the Red Sox organization, Mookie Betts, Andrew Benintendi, Xander Bogaerts, now is about to be Rafi Devers, all walk because the Red Sox don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah, no, it's been a puzzling offseason, to say the least. Not done yet, so I'll wait until I'll wait until opening day, and we'll see what that product looks like, but it's been very disconcerting
Wait until opening day when we're going to be at the game in Detroit because the Red Sox open up against the Tigers in Detroit.
Yeah, I'm excited for that because I love Detroit's opening day is one of the best in the country.
Yep.
It's like a national holiday in Michigan, and it's always fun to go when they're playing anybody, but it'll be fun to be rocking my Red Sox gear.
Yes,
And
it will be, but it's going to be sad that the Red Sox don't have a deal with Devers, and throughout the whole season it's going to be, are the Red Sox going to sign Devers when we all know it's not going to happen and he's going to walk into free agency, then the Red Sox are going to get outbid.
Well, I will say this. The only hope I have is Chaim Bloom has been open about his regrets with Bogaerts, and hopefully he learned something. Hopefully. We'll see. All I know is I think it was Ken Rosenthal, I believe it was, had some thoughts on Twitter, and he said building the number one farm system doesn't make fans happy, and it's also not your objective as a organization. Your objective is to win the World Series, and I don't understand the direction we're going in right now. The Red Sox are not the Pittsburgh Pirates. They're not the Cincinnati Reds. There is never a rebuild here. Every year you should be all in. You have the money to do it. So it's just been really puzzling as a Sox fan. And I had this on the show sheet last week, and we talked about the Sox quite a bit, but I didn't get to this specific point. And I was like, are we being spoiled as Red Sox fans? And I don't think so. I think that if the team was in a different spot, then I would be like, yeah, we need to rebuild. We have a lot of bad contracts. I would understand that, but like we are 4 years.
We just won a World Series 4 years ago,
and not to mention that like a lot of the guys that won that World Series were still under contract for the next 3 years after that. So
and they were young.
Right. So it's just been a very puzzling offseason. I loved the hire. When they hired Chaim Bloom, I was all for it. Obviously, they built the Rays into like a very prominent success story, and I was like, I love that. Bring that over here. Maybe we don't have to be over the luxury tax every year to win. And it's like,
but
it feels like he went from Division II or NAIA to Division I, and he just doesn't understand what to do anymore.
No, I agree. I mean, it's one of those things where I thought it was like, I agree with the hire. I loved it. I was like, yes,
I was all that. Yeah,
bring that over to Boston. You bring his mindset with growing a farm or like a farm system to the Red Sox having that background of being that good organization that has all that money that they can spend
they have
on guys.
The reasonces that he didn't have in Tampa Bay. You would I don't understand how this could not work.
Right? You thought they were going to go from, they win the World Series to maybe next year they don't. So this team's going to be in contention every fucking year.
Yeah. That's
what I thought. And then all of a sudden now, I don't know what the fuck is going to happen with this team.
Yeah, it's been puzzling, and I'm sure that locker room is doing the same thing we are, because they're like, when it comes out that Bogart, it wasn't about the money for Bogart. I mean, in a certain extent it was, but he would have signed with the Sox for less. He wanted to stay here, and you still couldn't get it done. That doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense.
It's like you don't sign him because you don't want to sign him for a long year deal until his 40s. But you sign a guy that's 38 years old.
Well, I don't know. I wouldn't have given him what the Padres did. But the whole point is that's not even where it was coming down to anyway. He would have, I don't know.
The issue is, if the Sox would have offered him, like you said either earlier or before we started recording, if the Sox would have offered him as much money as they offered him at the end of the season after the Padres offered what they did at the beginning of last year,
we wouldn't even be in this spot.
Yes, he would be a Red Sox for the rest of his career.
Yeah,
but the Red Sox fucked up, and they're going to do the same thing with Devers. It's going to be, they're not going to get a deal done, and it's going to go throughout the entire year. You're going to piss the guy off, and then he's going to be like, well, now you guys are going to fucking pay me. I would have signed for less if you guys would have gave me the deal a year ago.
So there's a few other things that are concerning too. So Devers holds all the marbles now.
Yes.
Because when Chaim Bloom comes out and says, we're going to do everything in our power to re-sign him, I messed up with Bogarts and all these other things, all you're doing is giving way more power to Rafi now. If I was Rafi, I'd be like, yeah, I'm not. Whatever you throw at me, I'm not taking. Because you lose all your bargaining power when you say these things like, I made a mistake with Bogarts, I wish. Now if I'm Devers, I'd be like, I'm going to free agency because whatever
I'm going to get as much money as I can at this point.
Right. I'm going to leverage you even more. I'm going to take that offer from the San Francisco Giants and be like, can you match it? And they can. So let's not get it twisted here. The Red Sox have the money.
They just won't.
They just won't. And I'm okay with not doing stupid contracts, but I think we both agree, if I had to pick one, if you could only have one for the rest of for the next 10 years, Bogarts or Devers.
I'm taking Devers.
Devers.
Taking Devers all day. Just because he's younger, and it's just his
ceiling is, I don't even think he's peaked yet.
Xander did great things for the Red Sox. I mean, I thank him for that. Whatever he's done with their 2 World Series with the Red Sox. And
de facto captain. I mean, he was the captain of that team.
Yes, he was a fucking stud on that Red Sox team. I'm sad that he's gone. But if you're you have to pick one of these 2 guys to give the money to, I want Devers just because of, you've heard his whole career, he's a generational player.
Yes.
One of a kind. He's a unicorn. He is a guy you're never going to see again.
I mean, they compare his swing to Ken Griffey Jr.
Yes.
It's effortless. You know what I mean?
And it's you have to lock a guy like that up for the rest of his career. Any way you can. I don't care if he's asking for $50 million a year. Give it to him.
Well, and it's also one of those things, as great of a sports town as Boston is, it's still not an easy place to play. So when you find a guy that embraces that, the light in and not only embraces it, but performs well. I mean, there's been guys the Red Sox have brought in here that just, they can't handle it. It's a little bit too much. The spotlight's just a little bit too bright. And when you find 2 guys that that embrace that. I mean, they love Boston. You know what I mean? And they are Boston. That's rare. You know, Nomar Garciaparra kind of had that a little bit. And I know they didn't work out with Nomar. And granted, they won a World Series the next year, so it looked like that all worked out. But when you find guys that are stars that embrace that spotlight in a city where you're expected to win every year, and across all major sports, Celtics, Bruins, Patriots, Reds, every year you're expected to win, it's really hard mentally to like perform at a high level over and over and over again. It becomes difficult. So it's like I said, right now I'm incredibly frustrated, but I will wait. They're telling us that they're active in the trade market and they want to bring in a big time right-handed bat. Cool. Words are great. Actions speak louder.
But this is what's going to happen. It's going to come at a cost. What you're going to get that great right-handed at bat, and you're going to lose Devers. You're going to trade Devers. No, this is what's going to happen. They're saying they're active in that trade market. They're not going to get a deal done with Devers. By the trade deadline, they're going to be no shot at making the playoffs, and then it's going to be the same thing with fucking Mookie Betts. He's going to get shipped out west to the Giants. It's not going to be L.A., but he's going to get shipped out to the Giants, and they're going to bring prospects over in return. That's what's going to happen with Devers.
I understand your frustration, and I can't knock you for where you're at. I think I'm just going to try to take a slightly more... You're probably right. I mean, all signs are pointing to that. But
just because
I can't go there right now. I hope it's not.
But it's just I'm just gonna prepare myself now, just so when it happens, I can just say, I said it in fucking December, and I can live with that, and I can say I said it all along. I'm not surprised, and I'm not gonna get pissed off because if I didn't say anything and I was really expecting them to sign this guy, and they didn't get it done, and he got traded. Like, when they traded Mookie Betts, I almost jumped ship then, just because I really thought they were going to get a deal done with Mookie Betts when everyone else was saying that it wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, real quick, is that an MDG quarter zip? That's fire. Shout out Mike Sullivan, shout out Metro Detroit Golfers. That's slick, dude. I haven't seen you wear that one. Maybe you have. I just don't remember. That's really nice. Sorry.
I've golfing plenty of times.
Yeah, that's nice. That's nice.
Back when I wasn't on the DL.
Yeah. Well, hopefully you get to be back at it. Yeah. I don't know. And the thing is, we're not the only Red Sox fans that feel this way. I mean, the entire fan base is like, what is going on? What is going on? This makes you miss a guy like Dombrowski, who was reckless, sure. But at least he wasn't afraid to spend money. I mean, yeah, a little reckless, but like, hey, come on, dude.
You won a fucking World Series.
Right.
2 with
him,
another
13. No, not 13. 13 was just 18. I was gonna say though, like with everyone's touting like, yes, we got to build up the farm system and all this stuff. The Red Sox 2 best prospects, Tristan Cassis and Brian Bello, they were on the roster before Chaim Bloom got here. Like, they're not even a product of any of his trades. And granted, it's still a little early to judge some of his trades. I get that. But, like, all I have to say is they made a lot. They cleared a lot of. They're still clearing space on this roster and stuff. I mean, obviously, they DFA'd Eric Hosmer, which they had to do that. They had like an agreement. They just had an agreement with Eric. They're like, you're not going to play here, and you have had a great career, and you deserve to go to a place where you can make a bigger impact. They wanted to clear the path for Cassis because all we've heard about the last 3 years is this guy hitting 500-foot home runs in the minors. So he's got to pan out, or else, I mean, what are we going to do? If he pans out, and obviously they will have him because his timer won't start till this year. If he pans out and they can get a deal done with Devers, and we have 2 really, really good young players at the cornerstone of that infield, I'd feel pretty good, but it's just going to be too early to tell. Yeah, he'll probably be like another year or two, but
everything I've heard of him, he's been playing. I mean, I know he was an A-ball or high A-ball, but I heard he was playing. He was a stud
very good
down there.
He's very advanced for his age, at least when it comes to like 20? Baseball IQ. Yeah, dude. I mean, fuck. He's the only prospect that they have been like, don't even ask. Like, that's not happening. They're
that's
all
honestly,
in on him.
He's the only reason why I'm okay with that not signing Devers. Or not
Well,
Devers, Bogarts.
But like even then, you're telling me you couldn't get a 3 to 5 year deal done with Xander, and then you figure that out later. Like that's my thing.
I don't think he wanted that though. Because think about it, 3 to 5 years, then you're putting him mid to early late 30s at that point.
It'd be hard for him to get another deal.
It'd be hard for him to get another deal.
Yeah, I mean, to me, I don't know. They clearly value and really, really think this Mayer kid's going to be a stud, or else I think that they would have, and I mean, we have no depth at shortstop now. I mean, they got rid of Downs. Obviously, Bogarts isn't there.
Story can shift over.
He will.
Kiki's
going to play second.
Well, it's Juan someone. They're linked to someone that's a second baseman.
Oh, you're talking about the guy for the Brewers.
Yeah, I think we're talking about the same guy.
Yeah, they also are linked to Brandon Drury, who had a really good year last year, and it sounds like he's a guy that plays second base, but he can play all over the place. He can play left field. He can move to third if he has to. And I like that. The Red Sox, no matter who, I'll put it this way: since Alex Cora has taken over, they love players that I call Swiss Army knives, like Kike, who can play multiple positions.
Brandon
it just
Arroyo,
gives you Carlos Arroyo. Yeah,
Carlos Arroyo. Oh yeah.
Brandon was the pitcher that won it in 04.
Yep. He's
Bronson
the guy
Arroyo.
that had that crazy leg kick that was like
so high,
straight up and out, like all the way up to his fucking head.
Yeah. Bronson Arroyo.
Yeah.
I will say, shout out Detroit Tigers. They took Jackson Jobe in that draft where we got Marcelo Mayer, and at the time everyone was like, "What are the Tigers doing?" Because they had no shortstop in their system. They're like, "We'll just take a high school pitcher," and it's like the Red Sox were like, "Wait, you're telling me that Mayer kid's still on the board?" Bet. So hopefully he pans out. Like I said, I'm withholding right now. I'm judging, but I'm not going to. When this is all said and done, we will have a podcast where we give our final thoughts.
Do you think that Story deal fucked them with everything?
No. Bogarts loved that they brought Story in, and he was like, he said he would have signed the same deal that Story signed, 6 years, 140, because it would have been an extension. He said I would have signed that exact same deal. So I don't think it fucked them off. They got a really good deal on Story, actually. Like, his AAV is not that high, and I hated the signing at first because if you looked at Trevor Story's road splits,
but it
was horrible.
Help.
He
started slow, but he
was battling a lot of injuries last year too.
Yes.
He's another guy that has fully embraced playing in Boston. I mean, he loves it.
No, I mean, I like him. I mean, I like the guy, but I'm more of a. I don't want to bring guys in if you're going to lose guys like Xander and Rafi.
Keep the core together.
I want to keep that core together because like those guys have that chemistry and they play well together. Like if you kept that,
you're almost. I was going to say you're. Sorry. No, you guys.
I was going to say if you kept that 2018 team together, you know
or
how many World Series they would have by now.
At least, hopefully more than we. Yeah, but. As best as you can. There was no way they were going to be able to keep Mookie, Benintendi, Xander, and Rafi. I mean, dude, that's $1 billion.
Benintendi wasn't on that team in 18.
Yes, he was.
He was. He was gone.
Benintendi won a World Series with the Red Sox, and he's way too young to be there in 13.
Did he?
Yeah. Played left field. He had the sliding catch against the Dodgers. Yeah, he was there. He hasn't been gone for 5 years, dude. They just traded him to the Royals like last year.
Oh.
Yeah. And he just got paid.
Holy shit, he played with the Sox until 2020.
Yeah. It just got wonky because of that COVID year. It was just really that's probably your mind's probably just, but regardless, like I said, I'm going to try my best to withhold judgment. I'm not super thrilled with everything. Obviously not thrilled. the free agents market is dwindling, man. Like, we need to sign some guys. I still don't think we have a good enough rotation.
No,
you know what I mean?
I don't think they've signed a single starting pitcher.
They haven't, and there's still quite a few on the market. They're just going to be some older guys. You know what I mean? Which I'm like, I would bring Zach Greinke in on a 1-year deal. You're telling me that he wouldn't be good for the clubhouse?
I don't know if I want that in Boston.
He's kind of a nut job.
fucking moans when he throws the fucking ball.
Stop! It's like playing tennis out there.
Jesus Christ! I remember the World Series. I think it was ALCS because he was on the Astros.
Yeah.
Fucking every pitch, or like every fastball.
Dude, the worst was there was a clip of him during COVID when there was no one in the stadium and he was doing it. It was so loud. All you heard was every pitch. And everyone was like, dude, chill, man. Like it was like echoing off the walls and stuff. It was so bad. Sorry about that, guys. Recording stopped. But I was gonna say I saw the funniest comment. One time it was like a clip of Zach Greinke like grunting after a pitch, and it was like a Division III coach or something, and he was like, "Do you guys think he does that when he warms up too?" And I was like, I started thinking about it. Like, can you imagine him in the bullpen like practicing his like changeup? It's like, dude, it's chill. You know what I mean?
Like you're gonna be out of breath before you even throw your first pitch.
Yeah, like relax, man. There's no one here that you need to be grunting at. But we'll keep you guys posted. That was our little Red Sox rant. It wasn't even on the show sheet, but it was much needed. Especially like all this stuff coming out right before the show about him regretting how he like that's almost a fireable offense to me.
Them being galaxies apart.
Yeah, you can't say that kind of stuff. But all right, let's hop right in. Let's talk some PNC Championship. I love this event. I absolutely love the PNC Championship.
So do I.
I've loved it ever since they've done it. And even when I wasn't super into golf, it was something that like my grandpa would put on because it was just cool to see the older guys and the younger guys. And Jordan Spieth had a great quote. He goes, "This has to be the only event in the world where you have an 87-year-old in the men's locker room and an 11-year-old in the men's locker room, and they're both competitors." You know what I mean? Obviously, some big. We'll get into who won and all that, but some big storylines from there. Annika Sorensen's son just stole this show. That little lefty, 11. He's the youngest competitor ever, and he just had so much swagger out there wearing his Jordan golf shoes. I mean, he just got, and all these guys can play, and it's like it makes sense. Like if your dad or mom or whoever is a professional golfer, I get it. You've been around the sport your entire life, but that doesn't always translate. Like there's plenty of guys that are kids that are kids of former athletes that just didn't inherit whatever their parents had. But gosh, can some of these kids play, man? It's such a good event. I love seeing like Spieth get to play with his dad and JT get to play with his dad. That's got to just be so cool, man. And I see why it's always such a packed field, because it is it's a full family affair. Like I think JT's mom was caddying for Mike, his dad. So it was like, you know, he had both his parents out there. Then he had Bones on his bag. Like it's just so cool, man. Obviously, Team Singh won it. His son can fucking play. I don't know if you got to. Gosh, man, they led almost the entire tournament.
Their first time they won it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And then it was their first time. I don't know that because they didn't. I don't think they played last year.
No, they played.
Did they play last year? They missed a year recently because of I think Vijay had like a. I don't know. I could just making stuff up. Obviously, Team Singh wins it. They shot 59, finished 26 under. And that's the thing. All these people are so good. If you're not, you have to shoot it like I think the last place team was still in the 60s. They shot in the 60s both days. Like you have to show up. They finished 26 under. Both Team Daly and Team Thomas tied second with 24 under. Team Daly, very good. John Daly on the first. They
won't be able to play in a couple years.
Yeah, because
little Daly's going to be a pro.
A pro. It'll have to be like if John Daly's not playing on the senior tour or not.
Yep, unless he retires.
Right, which he might just because he wants to play in just this event.
Right.
You know what I mean? I love John Daly. His son was a little frustrated with him after, not actually, but I guess the first day, John Daly showed up 20 minutes before his tee time, hit balls for about 8 minutes, grabbed his Diet Coke, and went to the tee box. And his son's like, dude, I really want to win this. He's like, I've been doing this before you were born, kid. Don't worry about it.
like you're lucky I'm not hungover.
Yeah. And I guess the next day, so it's a 2-day event for those who don't know. The next day, he didn't hit any range balls, showed up like 8 minutes before the tee time. It was like, I'm here, whatever. Give me the big stick, John, whatever. Really cool. And then obviously, Team Woods, Charlie and Tiger tied 8, 20 under. They shot a 50. They were in contention after day 1. They were like in second or third after the first day. And then obviously, second day, they didn't shoot. I mean, they still shot, a 65? Yeah, they still shot 7 under par and, dropping down to 8th. Just a great event. Obviously, because it's Tiger and who Tiger is, they just steal the show every year. But Charlie, man, gosh, did you see the picture of him last year and the picture of him this year?
Ridiculous.
That dude grew 2 feet in a year. Yeah. I mean, it's unbelievable. He's got like facial hair now and
Did
shit.
You see the video of him like having a bad shot and the ball rolled right by the green or right by the bunker, and he was like,
I meant to do that.
And he was like, get in the car. He was like, I meant to do that.
Yeah.
That's some shit dumbass would say.
It was so funny too. They were being interviewed after, and Charlie was like, I haven't seen my dad play that good of golf like ever, and Tiger's like, I used to be really good, like don't act like what, dude.
And then Justin Thomas tried to ask him a question. He's like, no.
Yeah. And it's just cool. Like obviously, like the Thomases and the Woods are family. I mean, JT and Tiger are as close as any two athletes you're gonna find across all sports. They are best friends. I mean, Charlie and JT, like they are literally like brothers. Like JT's like, I look at, like, I would do anything for Charlie.
Well, I remember 2 years ago or 3 years ago, they were paired up, like, the first round, and, like, JT hit his ball into the bunker, and Charlie walked off and left a nice shot.
Yeah. They needle each other quite a bit. And, everyone, like, Charlie is obviously, I wish he would kick my ass. Like, he would have to probably give me 20 strokes. I mean, he's breaking par now. Like, he's very, very good. He's got unbelievable club head speed too for his age. Like but what's crazy is he's the 22nd best junior golfer in Florida. Think about that. How good Charlie is, and there's that many other kids that are just as good, if not a little better. And that just tells you that the game of golf is in a really good spot. Despite all this nonsense from Liv and all this stuff, there are so many good young golfers in this country, and not even just this country, across Europe and South America and everywhere, that like it's unbelievable. It like gives me, like, when I think, like, I hope when I'm in my 40s and I keep after this game that we both love so much, I hope I can get down to scratch, and it's like, doesn't matter. These kids coming up are just going to kick the shit out of everyone. Love that event. It was really cool. I look forward to it every year. I wish they would do more events like this. But I guarantee logistically it's a nightmare because of all the different tee boxes and all this stuff. Like, obviously, Tiger hits from a different tee box than Charlie, and the women hit. It's just all different. So I bet it's got to be a nightmare to set up, but it's definitely worth it. It's definitely worth. The only thing that, and I guess, I was gonna say the only thing that would make it better is if it wasn't smack dab in the middle of football. But I guess they have to do it in the off season. Yeah, otherwise, I mean,
you can't have it in the middle. You can't have it in the summer just because you're right in the middle of golf, like the pivotal part of golf season. I mean, yeah, they can still get points now, but no one's really paying attention. And I mean, this is the time you have to do it.
And it's supposed to be more of like a.
I'll say the only other time you can do it is like right after the Super Bowl, but then right there, people are still getting ready for the Masters and all that.
I was gonna say like right after the Super Bowl, they go like down. That's when they start like their Hawaii and like the south like what's
like Australia or
South like America. that stretch of tournaments is usually right around there. But great event. Like I said, it's always fun to watch, and it shows you how good these guys are when you put them in a scramble format. So like you just pick the best shot and both get to drop the ball right there. Just how low these guys can go. I mean, 50 back-to-back 59s from the winners. I mean, that's great stuff. Great stuff. Let's see, anything else from the PNC, Casey? Nothing else? All right. World Cup, Argentina versus France in the final, Casey. People are saying this was one of the best sporting events ever.
Yeah, this was a phenomenal game. I mean, got my times mixed up. I thought it was 11. It started at 10. I got a text from my dad that said, "Go Messi," and I was like, why the fuck is he texting me 30 minutes before the game? So then I was like, I looked it up. I was on Twitter and then saw the Messi goal. And I'm like, oh, game's on right now. So I went and turned it on. Argentina then took a 2-0 lead, and it just looked like they were just flat.
Gonna run away with it.
Yeah, it looked like Argentina was gonna run away with it. So I was like, screw this. I was like, I have other things I have to do. I had to go to the store to get my Secret Santa gift for work, so I had to do all that. Went to the store, came back, was just dicking around, cleaning up, and then went on Twitter, and I saw people going nuts about Mbappe. I'm like, what is going on in this game? And I pulled
Mbappe became an international superstar overnight.
He's been a superstar,
but I mean, I didn't know who he was before this, and a lot of people didn't. People don't follow soccer like that. So in the soccer world, he's been huge, but
right. So he scored 2 goals in like a span of 2 minutes. And his second goal was a fucking badass goal.
It was. He's very, very good.
Yes. So after I didn't watch. I just saw this. I didn't watch. I just saw the second goal on Twitter. So I saw that they tied it up. Yeah, highlight. So I was like, holy shit! And there's like 9 minutes left. I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna watch the rest of this game.
Yep.
Turn on the game. They end up tying. Did they score in extras or not?
Well, because they ended up going to 3-3.
Yeah,
because it was 3-3. Yeah, it was 3-3 before the penalty kicks.
They went into extras, tied at 2, and then in extra time they both scored a goal. When Argentina scored, and then it looked like they were going to win it. And then late in the game, it was like 118th minute. France ended up getting the tying goal. Mbappe scored all 3 goals for France. Messi scored 2 for him. So, I mean, it was, and then it went into penalties, and then I think Argentina scored every goal.
Well, how about like I know, like the keepers played great too. I mean, there was some awesome saves in that game.
Yeah, no, there was
the one
really
where the keeper saved it with his foot at like the last second was crazy. I was in the same boat as you. I kind of forgot about it, and I'm not going to sit here in front and act like I'm a big soccer guy just because it's the World Cup. So I put it on, and I was doing other stuff around the house, and same as you. When it got down, I was like, okay, cool, football's about to be on. Real football's about to be on. And then same thing, I'm on Twitter, and people are like, this is the greatest sporting event of all time. So I go back, flip back, and I'm like, oh, shit, okay, just in time for the fireworks.
It was honestly, like, perfect timing of that game ending and the NFL starting. It was like the World Cup ended, and then I had, like, 5 to 10 minutes to check my fantasy lineups, and then, boom, NFL started.
Yeah, it was great. Argentina went crazy. Like that country, obviously, like it's a bigger deal over there. I mean, than it is here, and it looked like the Capitol was going to be overthrown. Like it looked like the president was getting over. It looked like it was nuts. I mean, I've never seen that many people in the street. And all the videos coming out from Argentina, I mean, those people were so fired up, and good for them. Congratulations to Messi. Gets it done. Honestly, one of the greatest players of all time. So
I agree. Yep.
Very, very happy that he was able to get his ever elusive World Cup gold or championship, whatever it's called. So that was good. I love, like just as a diehard sports fan, there is nothing better than when the championship game is a banger like that. Like, that's awesome. So very, very, very happy for all the people that were super invested in the World Cup and all the Argentinian fans. Shout out to the guy that cashed out.
He won. Yeah, he got lucky. So there was a guy, I forgot how many, I think it was a 12-leg parlay.
Seven.
It was 7 of all champions.
So it was like he bet on the MLB champion, got it right, NBA champion, NHL, NFL, obviously all those. So,
and he had his last one was France to win the World Cup, and he cashed out the day before for $283,000.
Would have won like 560, right around there, 560,000. So. Yep. Casey and I were going back and forth, and he's like, I don't know. And I was like, I'd cash out. I said, that's life-changing money. Obviously, if you're like Mattress Mac, $283K, whatever, you let it ride.
You can leave it just because you're going to make that money back.
And the other thing is, for the people that know betting like that, like if he had a friend or something that had, like a millionaire friend, he could have hedged, but you have to have the money to be able to do that. And like to be able to come up with $200,000+ in 24 hours is not something the average American's able to do. So, good for him. Way to cash out. Crazy to predict 6 out of 7, right, to begin with.
Oh, that's insane.
So that's shit we try to do on this show, guys. It'll happen one day by 2055.
We try to predict games, and this dude's projecting champions months before, years before. Happens. Jesus Christ.
So yeah, that was a banger. I think I saw it was one of the worldwide, one of the most watched World Cup finals, which would make sense. France and Argentina, 2 massive countries. Well, I mean, it was one of those things sport.
That you have Messi, and everyone loves Messi, and everyone loves Mbappe now, and France was looking to be the 3rd team to go back to back. Italy did it in like the 30s, and then I'm pretty sure it was the 30s, and then Brazil is the last team to do it in 62.
I was going to say, they were talking about it on the broadcast about how rare of a feat that is. And it makes sense because with 4 years in between, it's really hard to keep the same group together, obviously. And so much of it, I won't say luck, but some of it is the luck of the draw. Who you play in your groups and everything like that can matter. And you, obviously, in any sports season, you got to have some things go your way, whether that's calls or, you get a lucky bounce, whatever it is. That's just usually how it goes. So congrats to Argentina. And that'll probably be the last we talk about soccer for the next 4 years. So
most likely.
All right, let's move on to some bowl games. We got some bowl games, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday this week.
Yes, we do.
Where's the sponsors? You didn't put the sponsors on here.
I'm sorry.
You got all over me last episode because I didn't know it was the Long John Silver's Capital Bowl.
Some of these bowls are just long and fuck them.
So we got this Wednesday, the 21st of December, we got the New Orleans Bowl.
His birthday.
Yep. He'll be 4?
4.
Gosh. Gonna give him a beer, man. He's earned it.
Yeah.
New Orleans Bowl. Oh, did I tell you Gunnar had kennel cough?
That's what it was?
Yeah, he's fine now. We took him to the vet. You know how the vets are. They're like, well, for $5,000, we can do this test. My dad's like, it'll be fine. He's pretty much all back to normal now. It was like weird though. Like it was when he would get excited, then it sounded like a cat coughing up a hairball, kind of. It was just bizarre because Izzy went to the same, probably from the groomer. That's the only thing I can think of. But Izzy was at the groomer the day before. She never got it, and none of our other 2 dogs got it. And everything I read was like, it's like COVID. Like if one of the dogs have it, the other dogs are probably going to get it. And again, he's a smaller dog, and their immune systems just typically aren't as good. So maybe August and Izzy were just fine, but he's all good now. Thankfully, can't have anything happen to Lil Man. Mom up in heaven would beat our ass. My dad already said, he goes, Gunner's going to be the dog that we like amputate his leg or something because your mom's going to be looking down at us, just guilt tripping us. Like, that was my dog. You better take care of it.
He has another 2 more years in him.
Yeah.
You better get that surgery.
Yeah. My dad'd be like, God, fuck. You know what I mean? So
he's going to fall asleep and she's going to be talking to him.
Yeah. He's going to Yeah, he's like, you know what, Gunner, you had a good run, and he's gonna have like a nightmare and wake up and be like, we're going to the emergency.
Yeah,
bath. Like,
he's gonna wake up. He's gonna be like, we gotta go.
We gotta go.
He's gonna be like, what is going on? Be like, your mother just talked to me.
Yeah, he's like, she's gonna haunt me. Yeah. So, so Tucker's birthday, 21st. We got the New Orleans Bowl. We got Western Kentucky, high-powered offense going against South Alabama. South Alabama's a 4.5-point favorite. The over/under 56. I like South Alabama in this one just because they went to Mount Pleasant this year and beat the shit out of the Chippewas.
Yeah, I like South Alabama here. They can play defense, and give me the under.
Yeah, I like the under as well. 56. Yeah, I'll take the under. Thursday, December 22nd, we got the Armed Forces Bowl. Kind of a misnomer because only one Armed Force team's playing in it. We got Baylor versus Air Force. Baylor's only a 4.5-point favorite, over under 44.
Yeah.
Air Force was a weird team this year.
They were a really weird team this year.
At times they looked dominant, like for their caliber of team, but then other times they looked
Give
lost.
me Air Force in the under.
Oh, you're taking Air Force? I'm going to go Air Force as well. I think that academies typically get up for games like this. They don't get to be in the spotlight very often, so I think they'll get up for it. I like Air Force, and I love the under. If I had to pick a play, I would play the under and not pick a team.
Same.
Friday, the 23rd, we got the Independence Bowl, Louisiana versus Houston. Houston's a 7-point favorite, over under 57. High over under. Is this Louisiana Lafayette?
Nope, this is the Raging Cajuns. Louisiana Lafayette's, they're different. They're different. I'm pretty sure they're different. I'm pretty sure they're different. Dude, now you have me confused. I'm not sure.
Well, go ahead. Give me your opinion. I'll look it up.
Oh, fuck, I have no idea. I mean, I like the over.
Who are they playing again? Houston?
Houston.
Let's see here. Oh, yeah, you're right. It is. It is Louisiana Lafayette, the Raging Cajuns.
Okay.
Yeah. I like Houston, personally.
I mean, they score a fucking piss ton of points.
Houston's got a good quarterback in Clayton Tune, I think his name is. Some people are saying that he could be an NFL prospect. I like Houston this one. That's a lot of points, though. 57.
Yeah, let's go Houston in the over.
Yeah. Wait, real quick before we get into to another bowl game. You watched the Fenway Bowl?
Yeah, it was dog shit.
That setup is so bad.
These bowl games were horrible.
Oh, yeah, none of them were great. So we got the Gasparilla Bowl, Wake Forest versus Missouri. Wake Forest is a 1-point favorite, over under 60.
Give me Missouri and the under.
I like the under, but I'll go Wake Forest. I think that offense gets
Missouri,
it done there.
I just think the SEC overpowers the ACC in this one. Excuse me, Missouri proved it. They can hang with the big dogs when they hung around with Georgia. I think they're going to get it done.
Yeah. Yep. Well, that does it for the upcoming bowl games this week. Obviously, after Christmas, we'll do the college football playoff show, right?
Yeah. I mean, what I was thinking is we do. So this upcoming Thursday, we'll do, what would it be? We'll be Saturday, Monday, Tuesday. Next Monday, we'll do Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday games. And then next Thursday's episode,
we'll dedicate it all to...
Yeah, because at that point, it's just going to be, you're going to have 1, 2, 3,
you have
4,
the New York
5,
6.
6, 7. You have the New York 6. Yeah, it will pretty much be New York 6 and playoff championship at that point.
Okay, cool. I'm cool with that. All right. Let me get the music ready.
Just because there's still big games the week out. Like, there's some really good games. Like, next Friday, you have, like, the Gator Bowl, the Arizona Bowl, the Orange Bowl's next Friday. Like, you have some good games.
Cool. All right, let's move on to the NFL Week 15 recap. Casey, let's cue the music. All All right. What a wonky week in the NFL.
Dude,
Some craziness happened.
What a great way to start out this NFL weekend with the Indianapolis Colts heading up to Minnesota and playing the Vikings. Vikings win 39-36 in overtime. The largest comeback in NFL history. They were
the
down
Colts.
33
Colts were up,
at half.
Yep,
Colts were up 33 zip at half.
Yep. So Matt Ryan now owns the two largest comebacks in NFL history. He's just on the wrong side of them.
28-3 and 33 zip. This one was insane. I mean, KJ Osborne, Ipsy native, Ipsy product.
Balled 10 catches, 157 and a tut.
Yep. So he balled out. He had himself a hell of a game. He was making big catches down the stretch late. It was, they were doubling Jefferson. Honestly, there was some, the Vikings came out today and, pretty much put, the NFL on the hot seat a little bit and was I guess throughout the season, Jefferson's been getting, a lot of illegal hits and stuff on him, even when he doesn't have the ball. And the Vikings are like, look, dude, every time we go back and watch tape, it's Jefferson getting punked and no one doing anything about it. They were doubling Jefferson. Obviously, I would too. And, yeah, KJ stepped up big. I mean, this is something when we had Miles on the show that Miles was like, he's capable of it. He just needs the opportunity. Right.
So shout out to KJ, man. Hell of a game. Instrumental part of, obviously, winning that. He had a bunch of catches that moved the chains. Huge game. I don't know what the Colts do going forward. There are a lot of questions on that team. I think the locker room is dead. Obviously, you can't hire Jeff Saturday now. You can't. I quite literally think that if you gave me a 33-point lead in the NFL, I could make sure that we didn't lose the game.
Oh, I'm surprised he's not fired. I'm surprised.
You can't fire him. He's him and Irsay best. I think it's just an understanding. Dude, just finish out the year. Try to bring some form of stability.
That would be funny, though, that he would be the first interim coach fired.
That would be ironic. Yeah, that would be something else. It didn't make a lot. I literally, my dad was my dad, you do the weekly pick 'em. My dad had 10 points on the Vikings. So
your dad texted me it's early, and he was like, fucking Vikings.
Yeah. And so he's sitting there, and I'm watching the PNC Championship on my phone because I'm a golf nerd. I cared more about that than the Vikings Colts. And the Vikings get down. My dad's like, you can throw that shit on the TV. This game's over. I'm like, thank you. And I put that on. He runs to the store. I'm scrolling Twitter, and people are like, this is actually going to happen. I go on my ESPN app. The Vikings are down 8 with 6 minutes left. I was like, what happened? How what? I'm like, what? So I put it back on. My dad gets home. He's like, put the Vikings game back on. I'm like, it's on. He's like, what the hell? So we're sitting there watching him, and Dad's like, this will be the craziest win. And they got it done. I mean, I want to say this, though, and I'm not trying to be a hater right now. I think the Vikings still got exposed a little bit. I don't know that they're as good as we may have initially thought. Great comeback win. Cannot take that away from him. Fuck it. In 102 years, no one's ever done that. So, but yeah, like you said, what a way to start off the NFL slate this weekend. I mean, that was bonkers, man. I stopped. I had to do some Christmas shopping. I stopped at the bar quick and had a beer right before the Buffalo game. And one of the guys I know that was sitting there, he goes, that was the craziest game I've ever watched. I was like, I know. I go, you went from, I guarantee 538 had the Vikings winning chance to win that game was probably 3%. There's no way. You know what I mean? That's insanity.
I heard the Vikings were at plus 3,500 at one point.
Yeah, if you took them at when they were down 33-0, you would have made a shit ton of money. Yeah. A dollar would have won you 35. It was nuts. I saw when they were down 24 points, I think it was only at plus 650 or 750 depending on the sports book you use, and then they got down to 33, and they were like, "Nay, no one's ever done this, so it's probably not going to happen." Just a pathetic loss. Matt Ryan was pissed after the game. I hope he lands on his feet or retires. I mean, There's some friction there. I saw this. Forgot this airplane. Is this the loudest airplane of all time?
I was like, holy shit, dude.
Do you hear that?
They must be going to Willow Run.
Yeah, dude.
I was like, there's no way they're going to Detroit if it's that loud. They're going to Willow Run.
If they were going to Detroit, it'd be an emergency landing on Textile Road. You know what I mean?
94.
Yeah. What was I? Oh, I was going to say there was a clip. There was a clip that got surfaced of Matt Ryan threw a pick when he was trying to throw the ball to Michael Pittman Jr. It was like a slant curl route, kind of quick dig. He throws it, good throw, and instead of going and getting the football, he started to backpedal a little bit and allow the defender to come in to pick it off. And Matt Ryan was on the bench, and he watched it with like the QB coach, I'm assuming, that, or the offensive coordinator, and they look at each other. He throws the tablet down, and you can literally read his lips. He says, he fucking sucks. And he's talking about Michael Pittman. And I based on some of the little bit of research I did today, there's been friction there. And I would be frustrated, too, if you're Matt Ryan. I mean, come on, dude. Like, get the football. Go get the football. That's your job. If you're scared to get hit, you're in the wrong industry, my man. And I'm not saying that. I'm not trying to call Michael Pittman soft. I don't know him, and I don't follow Colts football enough to say. But that clip was like, come on, dude, go get the football. So, like you said, man, hell of a way to start the slate. Next game. This game was a little disappointing, not because of the score, but because of the weather. Miami Dolphins at the Buffalo Bills. Bills win a tight one, 32-29.
Dude, they were making it seem like
it didn't start snowing until the fourth quarter.
Yeah, they were making it seem like it was going to be so much snow. Like, come on, don't disappoint us like that. I find it funny.
I mean, it snowed like a shit ton before the game, and then I guess it like stopped and picked back up. And granted, they did like shovel the field.
North of them. Yeah, it all went north of like most of that storm that was supposed to hit them went north of them, and then later on, like when the fourth quarter hit, they started getting that lake effect, dude. I mean, dude, that the lake effect part of snow is ridiculous.
Nasty. I mean, it's like pretty much zero visibility. You know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, it was a good game though. Despite that, I was just really looking forward. Like I think of like when the Eagles and Lions played a couple years ago,
that was what I was
LaShawn McCoy is just running. Dude, there was like a foot of snow on the field. You know what I mean?
I was gonna bet the over/under, but I didn't just because I was like, I'm gonna wait because I'm
not sure what the weather is gonna look like.
I'm gonna wait until 10 minutes before. If I see a shit ton of snow on the ground, I'm betting under.
Yeah. I think you were smart to wait. When we actually gave our picks last week, we said to wait to see if the weather was actually there. So we were smart on that. The Bills fans are menaces, just chucking snowballs at players. They had to
stop the game for a little bit because the fucking Bills fans were throwing snowballs on the field.
They came over the PA system. They said, we hate to have to tell you this, but if you don't stop throwing snowballs, it's going to be a penalty against the Bills. And everyone just started booing. It was like, no shit, dude. That's assault. It's assault. You can't throw. What the Bills, the Dolphins scored a touchdown, and he's doing this, and next thing you know, it's just like 40 snowballs just getting chucked at him.
I remember late in the game when the snow started coming down. There was like something that happened, and like there was guys near the fans, and all of a sudden you just saw snow getting thrown on the field.
That's unbelievable. Cracked me up.
That is on the Bills for not clearing out the stands before.
What did you expect a bunch of drunk fans to do? To not throw a snowball? Imagine.
No, it doesn't matter. It's Buffalo fans.
That's true.
I get it if like New York Jet fans might not do that.
No, I was going to say this. If there was that much snow when we were at that Red Sox game, I'm totally hitting Randy with a snowball. That's 100% happening. I was that lubricated and that liquored up that if I had a snowball and Randy's walking out to right field.
He's lucky I didn't throw my fucking signed ball at him.
Yeah, that's true too. Like you said though, I mean, it was a good game. I think the Dolphins are legit. We've thought that since like week 3. McDaniels is just a good coach. Tua played better than I thought he was going to. And, the Bills are still the king in the NFL. I mean, they're very, very good. Josh Allen is very, very good. And that's why they're likely to be a favorite to win the Super Bowl. So, good game. And then we move on to our Detroit Lions Detroit Lions and New York Jets. Lions win an ugly one, 20-17.
Yes.
Another victory Monday, Casey.
Hey, look,
we got another victory Monday.
The one thing that I'm happy about this one, yes, it was ugly, but I like it that the Lions can prove they can win an ugly game on the road in the NFL.
It's like Jared Goff
Jets
says, better to win ugly than to lose pretty.
Yep. I mean, I like it that like the Lions didn't. Like, this was a game that
they would have lost.
This
is a game they typically would have lost.
It's an ugly game, and then they were going to find a way to lose it late, and they did. And honestly, they were trying. They were trying to give that game up late. But
I gave myself a migraine during that game. I was screaming so much. I mean, that's how invested. Normally, I can watch a Lions game and just be like, this is what's going to happen, and I'm totally fine with it. This year, I'm so bought in that when Brock dropped that pass, that tight end, I legitimately thought I was going to throw my TV outside. And shout out to him to redeem himself and score what would end up being the go-ahead touchdown or the game-winning touchdown.
This Sunday, we're doing our family Christmas that we do with our uncle every year. It's like, okay, well, Lions play at 1. What time are we doing dinner? 5. Okay, well, let me rephrase my statement. Lions play at 1. I'm driving me and my sister. She gets off at 3. So, I mean, like, she better expect the fucking drive.
Right.
Because
you'll drive home, but
I am watching that Lion game.
Yeah, and
if it was 1 in what? 13 Detroit or 2 in whatever Detroit, they were like out of the playoff contention. Oh, whatever. I could give a fuck.
I'd still watch, but it wouldn't be the same type.
I would watch, but it's one of those things. Okay, I have a family event going on. Okay, well, fuck the Lions game. I'm gonna head to that. I'll figure out whatever the score was. I'm invested. I'm all in. My over 6.5 win bet cashed. I just placed a second bet on the Lions.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
Dollar, dollar.
Knew all along. Not a doubt. I knew that was gonna cash. I placed another bet. Over 8.5 wins.
You're all in.
Over 8.5 wins. I got it at plus, dude. I got it at plus 155. I had to.
Oh, that's great value. What the fuck?
I did it before the game, so I did it when they had.
Oh,
6
that makes
wins.
sense. Okay, that makes sense.
I did it before the Jets game, so they got that. I cashed out. I'm winning this one. They have to win 2 more games, games for that to hit. They go Carolina, Chicago, Green Bay.
Yep. So I was gonna say, we kind of just alluded to it. Dan Campbell said in the locker room after the game, he said, this is a game this franchise typically wouldn't win. This is a game this group didn't win early in the year. He goes, whether it was our fault or the universe, something would have happened that just unfortunate. Like the Justin Tucker NFL record field goal to beat you, right? So it feels like from not only a culture standpoint or a mindset standpoint, there's something in the air down there in Allen Park, and they're really starting to get things going. Tony Dungy, who's from Michigan, was like freaking out. He's like, restore the roar. And he's like, I never thought I'd get to say that. You know what I mean? And it feels different. It feels damn good.
No, honestly,
it feels damn good right now.
I told my parents this earlier today, and I'm going to say it on the podcast. I am as locked in and as confident with this Lion team as I was with the 2018 Red Sox.
All right, you were saying that you're as locked as the 2018 Red Sox.
Yeah. So I mean, the Red Sox were a different team because like I knew that they were going to win the World Series. I mean, this Lions team, and they still have. I don't
know that they're going to make the Super Bowl, but if they make the playoffs, I think that's a massive step in the right direction.
Yes.
So, they're very good, man, and I'm bought in. I'm ready to be hurt. I think this season, if they win, obviously they want to win out, right? Win out, that's great. If they even win 2 of the next 3, I would say this season was a massive success. I think people now are done questioning whether Campbell's the guy. He still needs to clean up some of his in-game coaching things, but he'll do that. Now the biggest thing for the Lions is Ben Johnson going to be gone after this year? That's the big question. He's definitely going to get interviews. I just hope he comes off as maybe a year away, because I think you give him one more year, we win the North next year and we're hosting a playoff game. So, and obviously a lot of things have to go your way in the NFL. You could be on paper the more talented team. Injuries play a massive part. And obviously just finding ways to win. They are doing that. And even like you said, when it just felt like, God damn, the Jets are just going to get it done. Bend don't break. They figure it out. And, I mean, dude, if you read our group convo on Days of the Lions, you would think we were all mentally ill. It's the most volatile group convo I've ever been in. I mean, it goes from we're winning the Super Bowl to, like, trade Jared Goff and sell the team in a matter of one play. I love it. It's so toxic. It's great. Dude, it's and great. All our voice messages after the game, that's 4 dudes that are just genuinely fired up about the Lions, and the whole fan base is like that. The Lions, I read on Twitter, based on impressions, so this is clicks, comments, likes, articles shared, whatever. The Lions are the most talked about team in the national media over the last 2 weeks. So, or NFL team. Yeah, I wouldn't want to play him right now.
Dude, I'm locked in. I'm fired up. I'm fired up.
So we go on the road to the Panthers. Then we got the Bears at home and at Lambeau to play the Packers to close out the year. I mean, they're going to be favored to win this week. They should be favored in the rest of their games. They should be the favorite in the rest of the games. So the Bears scares me just because Fields is just dynamic, but I think they've learned since when they played when Jalen Hurts ran all over them week 1. This is a different defense. So let's not get ahead of ourselves. We got the Panthers. It's like Campbell said, it was a 6-game season. They've won 3 of them. Let's win the last 3. All right. So we're on to the Panthers. Go Lions. And honestly, thanks for giving us a good December of football. Thanks for giving us a good December of football, Detroit Lions. Let's go. Next game, crazy game. Dallas Cowboys at the Jacksonville Jaguars. Jags win a thriller in overtime, 40-34 in overtime, like I said. A lot of talk in Cowboys camp is Dak making some mistakes in this game. And a lot of
27-10 lead.
Yeah, and a lot of pundits around the NFL think they're having Dak do too much. They were winning games with Cooper Rush because you relied on the really, really good parts of your football team, which is that run game and your defense. And now they got Dak back, and it's like they're just trying to do too much. I don't know. I don't think I don't know that this is like a tell about the Cowboys. I still think the Cowboys are really good, and I wouldn't want to play them either in the playoffs just because of how good that defense is. But this is a tough one to lose if you're a Cowboys fan.
Oh, yeah. No, I agree. You can't blow a lead like that. You can't blow a 17-point lead.
Yeah.
In the NFL. Yeah. I mean, it's that's ridiculous. I mean, especially I'm not saying Trevor Lawrence is a horrible quarterback, but
he played well, looked good.
You can't do it to a second-year guy with a defense the way you
can't do it to the Jags. I mean, they're not playing the Bills. You know what I mean?
It's not like Tom Brady did that against you. I mean, I can get that if that happened. I mean, you're talking about Trevor Lawrence. I mean, I'm not saying he's dog shit, but he's not at that caliber.
Right. And neither are the Jags. Are good. They're talented. But I mean, come on, the Cowboys were clearly the better team, and they just let it slip away, man. And that's how it happens in the NFL so quick, man. It can happen like that, where all of a sudden you're running uphill in mud and you're just slipping and falling, and they're scoring, and not next thing you know, you're losing the football game. So momentum can shift so quickly in the NFL. It's crazy. Next game, the New England Patriots at the Las Vegas Raiders. Raiders win 30-24 on, in my opinion, the most bizarre ending to a football game that I've ever seen.
What the fuck was Stevenson and
Jacoby Myers
doing? Like, what the hell? You guys are tied.
They're acting like they needed a touchdown.
Yes. They're acting like they're down and like you need to get a touchdown there. It's like, no, dude. Like, you got in field goal range. Okay, time ran out. You gave it to Myers, and then Myers just throws it right to the Raiders guy. And then that dude.
No. Not just that. He threw it behind. I mean, they were already lateraling. He tried to throw it 30 yards across the field to Mac Jones. What's Mac Jones going to do when he gets it?
And there was no one around him. I mean, and the thing is, it went right to the Raiders guy, and that dude saw his opportunity.
He put Mac Jones in the dirt. He put him, dude. He said, See ya. That was so bad.
Oh my god.
That's the most bizarre ending. So I was at my aunt's. My girlfriend and I went over there to decorate cookies for some reason, right? And so I'm at my aunt's, and I wasn't watching the game. I didn't think anything of it. Patriots, Raiders, whatever. My grandpa was watching the Bucks game at the time, so I'm watching that or whatever. And I see in our group convo, and everyone's like, "What the F just happened at the end of the Pats game?" Like, I didn't see it. Casey, quick as always, sends me the highlight. My jaw, I couldn't stop watching it.
Oh, dude.
I was like, what? I was like, how does that happen? How can you how can you be that good at football your entire career? You're in the NFL. How do you go that brain dead in the last play of the game and just say, fuck it? And dude, I couldn't believe that. And I feel bad. I feel really bad for Jacoby Myers. Stand-up guy. He answered all the questions at his locker afterwards, and you could tell it hurt. You could tell he knew, like, what was I thinking? I mean, it's literally like in Call of Duty, he just like lagged for a second. You know what I mean? It's like, and then he like came to and was like, what did I just do?
Oh
you know
God.
what I mean?
Yeah, like so during that, I got back from my parents from dinner, and I had to give dipshit a bath. So I was giving Tucker a bath, and then got the text from Colt that said, did you see the end of that game, or what the fuck happened? Got a text from my dad that said, did you watch the end of that game? I'm like, well, okay, I have to watch this now. So I went on Twitter and I saw it, and I was like, holy shit. Because, I mean, when I got back, I was like, none of these 4 o'clock games I really give a shit about. I mean, my fantasy matchup was coming down to the Sunday night game no matter what, so that's all I really cared about was that game. I didn't care about any of the other games. And that fucking ending happened. Like, that's insane.
Yeah, it was. I mean, like I said, I do feel bad for Jacoby Myers. Like, he's going to get killed for this I mean, that's, like, I hate to say it, that's probably going to be what he's remembered for in the NFL.
Oh,
unless
100%.
he goes on to do something, like, even more ridiculous or extraordinary. So I was talking to my dad. I didn't know it was Jacoby Myers at first. So when I got home and I was talking to my dad, I was like, you think Belichick's going to cut him? My dad's like, it depends who it is. You know, if that was some second-rate guy, he's gone. Belichick don't play, but Jacoby Myers is a very talented receiver and probably their best offensive weapon besides Stevenson. So just bizarre. I don't put any of the blame on Stevenson, really. Like, you let her once real quick, whatever, nothing really bad's going to happen. To then take that and decide you're going to chuck it 30 yards across the field is just a huge jump. Like, that was unbelievable. I couldn't believe that. Next game, the Cincinnati Bengals, the Tampa Bay Bucks. Bengals win 34-23. Bengals are hot. We told you guys 3 weeks ago to watch out for the Bengals once we get into December.
Told you guys since week 3 of the NFL season that the Bengals were going to be the first 0-2 team to make the playoffs. Knew it from back then. But the Buccaneers blow us. The Buccaneers blow us 17-0.
Yeah, they were up quite a bit. Yeah,
I mean,
it's like young versus old, man. You know what I mean?
What the fuck is happening with this Tampa Bay team? I mean, they're giving Carolina that division.
Yeah, which is crazy to think. If you thought the Carolina, that's just nuts. That's the worst division in football, and it's not even close.
No, I agree. With
maybe in like the last 10 years. I don't remember a division being this bad ever.
No, the NFC East was pretty bad one year.
But they at least had one good team, right?
No, they were like under 500. And there was another team.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
A couple years ago. And then before that, I'm pretty sure another NFC team. It may have been the same division. They were bad. They were all the same division. They were all dog shit.
Yeah. Well, regardless, that division is pathetic. Joey Burke looked good. They're getting hot at the right time. Bengals are also similar to the Lions, getting healthy at the right time. They're getting Chase back. They're obviously, like, you can talk about the Bengals slow start all you want. That's not a team you want to play in the playoffs. They can score like no other.
Yep. I agree with that 100%. I mean, they have, easily the best receiving core of the NFL.
Yeah.
With Boyd, Chase,
Higgins.
Higgins.
Yeah.
But Higgins has to get healthy.
Yep. That was a good game. Obviously, the big story is what's Brady going to do next year? He's going to retire. There's all this talk about him going back to the Pats. There's talk about him going to the 49ers. And then obviously a lot of talk about him reuniting with McDaniels and going to Las Vegas. Las Vegas seems like a good fit. Obviously, he would have Devontae there, which would be huge. With him and Mike Evans, Brady really needs to at least have a guy.
What if he came to Detroit for a year? Imagine him behind that O-line.
I wouldn't want that.
Well, neither do I. But what if imagine him behind that O-line?
He wouldn't get hit very much. I can tell you that.
And with that receiving core and that running game.
Yeah. I think that you could put anybody. I could play quarterback for the Lions and be all right. You could play quarterback for the Lions. You got a better arm than I do.
Way better arm than you.
Yeah. Last game to talk about here. This was a weird one. New York Giants at the Washington Commanders. Giants win 20-12. Casey, did you notice this watching the game? They both had 7-5-1 records. Do you think that's the first time two teams with the same 7-5-1 record have ever played each other? That's got to be, right?
And
I was like,
what's really weird is when they played 2 weeks ago, the final score was 20-20, and it was
almost 20-20 again.
Well, the refs kind of fucked that up. I mean, there were
twice. Two really bad calls. The whole thing with Scary Terry, him lining up.
That was bullshit.
The ref saying you got to scoot up some. He asks again. The ref says you're good, and then throws the flag.
Sat there the whole time with his hand ready to call it. It's like, come on, dude.
And then obviously the last play of the game, all over Curtis Samuel in the end zone there. I mean, that was as blatant pass interference as when the New Orleans Saints game.
Yep, there's that, and then there was another one. I mean, I think this was a penalty. I mean, they called it a penalty, but there was an offensive pass interference call that same drive that they called or maybe the drive before. No, I think it was that drive.
On the Redskins?
On the Redskins.
Oh, sorry, Commanders. Sorry.
Commanders, yes. Offensive pass interference. It was the whole picking penalty.
Oh, yeah. I thought it's a 50-50 call. Yeah.
It was a 50. I mean, what? Collinsworth on NBC was fucking pissed off about it. He went on he kept on going a rant about that for like minutes after.
Yep. That was a good game. Obviously, shout
out Daniel Jones. You almost fucked my fantasy career.
Well, I'm glad that you were able to get that done. I think I wanted to bring this up at the beginning, but then we had that slight recording issue. Did you see Dante Moore flipped his commitment? The guy from Martin Luther King Jr., he's going to UCLA now. So what I gathered, what the story on ESPN said was...
Well, the guy that recruited him left Oregon.
To Arizona State. Kenny Dillingham is now... Yeah, he's Arizona State's head coach. So... Dante Moore is Dillingham's the guy that recruited him, essentially. Yeah. He was like, you need to come to Oregon. This offense is perfect.
I understand that, and I'm completely fine with guys leaving colleges because the guy that recruited them left. 100%, that's acceptable to me. What's not acceptable is being like, oh, well, you benched me because I was playing bad and I'm going to leave.
Yeah. Oregon told Dante Moore, they were like, we totally get it. I guess it was all love. They were like, no problem. Dante Moore was like, they handled it so well that
Nick's going to be there for.
He's coming back.
No,
he's got one more year.
Oh,
he said that didn't affect his decision, but yeah, I don't know. But I just wanted to bring that up quick because I saw that. I wanted to bring up the beginning of the show, but I forgot. So, but all right, well that does it. Sorry.
Yeah.
Is that what you were trying to do?
No, I was going to talk about my fantasy.
Powered by Riverside.
This week, but it's okay. We'll have the show. I'll see you in the championship, though. 2 weeks. See you in the championship.
See.
Love you guys.
Love you guys. See ya. We got we're on a Die Hard kick over here. We introduced Kelsey to Die Hard the other night, and we never seen it. And so we made her watch it, and she liked it. And
we watched all of them.
No, because I abandoned her last night and watched Die Hard 2 without her, and we're watching Die Hard 3 tonight. I'll watch them with her at some point. There's the running joke in this household. We say Die Hard's a Christmas movie. We watch it every Christmas. We watch it.
It is a Christmas movie.
I agree. And so I was, after the football games were over, after we watched Yellowstone yesterday, I was on Amazon and I saw like it prompted me to watch the second one, so I just threw it on. Ended up staying up like 2 in the morning with my dad. We just cast them, but I do think we own them on VHS.
No, I was gonna say, dude, if you need them, I mean, don't buy them because my dad has literally 2 sets of the entire series.
Yeah,
every movie.
They're included with our Showtime subscription, so we didn't have to pay for any of them, thankfully. Okay. But I'm pretty sure because the first 3 all came out before '95, and then the most recent one came out in 2007. But that one's like not as good. The first 3 are like a trilogy. The 4th one was just kind of like a spinoff, kind of. But it still has Bruce Willis in it. It's just a little different. But so we're watching the 3rd one tonight. The 3rd one's my favorite because it has Samuel L. Jackson in it, and they're in. It's great. So we're about to go do that. My dad's sick right now. He's got the flu, so I'm just gonna try and avoid him, not get sick before Christmas.
Right.
Yeah. So we'll get into your fantasy shit on Thursday.
No, we don't have to. It's already over with.
Thank God. But all right, guys, that does the show. Sorry for all the technical difficulties. Hopefully, when I patch all these recordings together, it's no big deal. So, but episode 30 in the books, Casey. 30 more, and we're at 60. Sorry, 30 more, and we're at 60. All right, we'll see you guys. Fuck it, I'm out.